Okay, shh, pause. I know, burning questions, but wait for just a second, okay? I'm not going to take all your time, I promise, unless you need me to keep on going. For right now, where am I? Okay, practice test. Practice test is due when? Tomorrow. Why at 12:45? What should you be doing at 12:45? In here, getting all of your stuff turned in, your homework spirals and your composition books with everything updated. Don't let me steal any points. I don't want to, but I have to if you don't follow directions. What's up here? Your phones. Where are your practice tests and your stamp sheets and your tutoring forms all put away? Well, you should probably have a tutoring form or a stamp sheet out. Those of you that keep on stealing my sheets and writing work on them, what are the stamp sheets and the tutoring forms for during a test? Just covering. If you need extra space, where should you be? On a separate piece of paper. So if you keep on writing on my forms, you're making me go make colored copies. It's so annoying. Please just have a blank piece of paper out. Anyway, you're spread around the room diagonally, right? Okay, if Hannah's here and this whole thing is staggered, should John be there during the test? No. No, move. You guys can do this. Okay, you guys usually do a pretty good job. Some of the other periods not so well. Okay, pause. I have the multiple choice that you guys have already seen with my full solutions at the end of this document, and then I also put up the chapter 6 FRQs. I think they're in order 1 through 4. 1 through 4? Yeah, because what did we do all together? The 5th one, right? Or technically the first one. We already did that one all together. It's in your notes. Okay, now let's talk about the test. Ready? Wherever you are, on your test review, in your homework spiral, in your notes, wherever you want to write down for yourself clues about tomorrow. I warned you just a second ago, if you don't force yourself to practice tonight, some problems without a calculator at all. Not for graphs, not for intersections, not for integrating. You are not going to be ready to start the test. Why? The beginning of the test is, Mel, you're going to want to listen to this, the test tomorrow, focus, details. If you don't force yourself to practice without a calculator tonight, you're not going to be ready to start the test because the test starts off with 4 non-calculator multiple choice. Where could you get stuck? On the graphs, on the bounds, on the setup, on the integrating, on the matching. What's the struggle if you get stuck on the first 4 problems? Your time is being killed for the rest of the test. So what do you need to practice tonight? No calculator. Now, are all of those necessarily like actual numeric answers? Could some of them be expressed as an integral but don't solve? It's possible. But in order to express as an integral and not solve, okay, you could kind of make a guess on those, but on the other ones with numbers, don't you have to be able to solve and get there? How else do you guess? Okay, so that's where the test starts off. It's not even a page front and back. It's a page just with the front with 4 multiple choice non-calculator. Okay? That's not to freak you out unnecessarily. It's to challenge you that you have to prepare for this tomorrow because people get slowed down on the first 4. Now, once you finish your first 4, what are you allowed to do? What do you have to do? Turn it in. It's out. You cannot change those answers. It's done. And what do you get? The rest of the test. 2 pages stapled front and back. And you're allowed to use your calculator for the rest of the test. So Kevin said on the FRQs, are we allowed to use our calculator? I said, ever since the beginning of time on calculus? No, but on the test tomorrow, yes. You're allowed to use your calculator on the free response. Free response, there are FRQs tomorrow? Okay, listen, there are about 6 multiple choice, somewhere between 4 to 6 multiple choice with a calculator. Once again, not all of them are solving all the way. And then there are 2 FRQs. Now listen carefully. I already said calculator is allowed on all of this to its fullest extent. If there's an answer with a pi in it, in a multiple choice, could you plug that answer in and see if it matches your decimal that you found? Okay, just maybe some of the answers aren't written like a calculator problem, but you're allowed to use your calculator on all of it. On the free response, there are 2 of them. Here's my advice. You might not have time to totally bust out every single part of both, so you need to strategize. There is some built-in bonus, so maybe there are some extra points available. Strategize. I need you, when you get to the FRQs, to look at both, to start reading both, and to pick which one you feel more confident on. Yeah? Tackle that one entirely, or at least like an ABC and be like D before you go to the next one. Does that make sense? So look at the two FRQs. They're weighted exactly the same. And one of them, whichever one you end up, whether it's obvious or whether it's not, whichever one is not your strongest, there's a little bit of built-in bonus on that. Okay? So if you totally tackle one and you partially tackle the other, you're just hoping you partially tackled it enough to get the regular points and maybe even a little bit of bonus points. But two FRQs. Why am I warning you about this? On the AP, how much time per FRQ? 15 minutes. So that's theoretically 30 minutes just right there, and you still have 10 multiple choice to figure out. Now technically on the AP, it's 1.2 minutes per multiple choice. So technically this is enough for a regular class period, but for you guys, are you there yet? And if they're all area and volume, those are usually the problems that take a little bit more. So, do we need to prepare? Yes. Do you hear what the test is like tomorrow? Yes. Are you allowed to use the calculator on the majority of the problems? Yes. But are the first 4 important? You can't just BS your way through that and guess answers. Okay? You need to work on them, do your best on them, but then you need to turn it in and say it is what it is, shake it off and say, here we go, calculator part. And when you get to the FRQs, you can't look at the time and be like, ah! Hopefully you've been kind of spreading out your time and not getting stuck on any problem before that. If it's not working, move on. But FRQs, you're looking at both, choosing one, not to spend the majority of your time, but to make sure you do the best you can on from beginning to end, and then doing as much as you can on the other. Are we cool? Questions? Only 2 FRQs, 10 total multiple choice, 4 without, 6 with. Without calculator, with calculator. 2 FRQs, calculator on both. And what is my advice right now that I gave at the beginning of class one more time? When you face a problem without a graph, visualize. Wait, that's it? Just draw it? No, that's not my only advice. Draw it and shade. Get the region that's bounded by, and then put together all the information. And if there's some sort of rotation, if there's some sort of revolution, do I mean just shade? No. Show the rotation. Get your brain thinking, follow the axis. Oh, there's hollow. This is not a rotation. I know. Just saying. Okay, questions, details that you need in order to prepare for tomorrow.
Will we be allowed to choose like which one we want to do first, the matching one or that first?
There's no choice as far as non-calculator calculator, so you have to start with the first 4 non-calculator multiple choice. Everyone, no calculators on the desk. But as soon as you turn that in, now you get the rest of the test, you choose. If you want to start with the FRQs, if you want to start, it's up to you. But just a warning, the bonus is built into the FRQs. So you might want to maybe start with 1 FRQ to go do multiple choice, extra time, other FRQ. Does that make sense? Any other questions as far as strategizing for tomorrow, information you need in order to tackle this test well? Kevin needs help, P.S. All right. Is there anything really quickly that you guys want me to talk through on the practice test? Whether an FRQ part or whether a multiple choice? Multiple choice? John, have you gotten the picture yet?
All the answers are yes and no. That's just so you
Parabola is sadly not a semicircle. It's a good idea, but just think a semicircle rounds or an ellipse rounds, whereas a parabola doesn't. So it's going to mess you up if you do that. So yeah, just stick with the, remember area. Yesterday's forever quiz, right? I didn't tell you dx or dy on area. I said give me one because you get to choose. You can do right minus left, but then you have to x equals plus or minus square root. I would do top minus bottom because I have y equals 5. And then I go from -2 to 2. Or I would go double 0 to 2. Does that make sense? Is it? You can open the door a little bit. You don't have to use me, but I'm available for any other questions. Up here at the front. Huh? Because y equals 5 intersects its natural bounds at -2 and 2. Oh, sorry, it's negative. My bad. Yeah. Or, Colby, since this could be harder to plug in, and it's symmetric, it might be easier to go from there to there and double it. And sometimes the AP, if it's a make it match, might not have this one correctly written. They'll have this, but they might make a mistake, and this is the right one, just to be aware. Hey guys, what did I hit really hard today as far as being able to do to start the test tomorrow? No, to start the test. Non-calculator, but how do you end the test? Using that thing to its fullest extent. Means graphs, means windows, means intersections and zeros, means integrals, right? Okay. We've gone over all those things. Using y1, knowing how to put fractions in, absolute value to double check. Sorry, keep going. I'm going to pause the video. If you need me, let me know. I don't want to force my attention on you or my